I think political correctness stops people from talking about the truth. It stops people from being honest about the reality of what's going on with these kids today. And that's why I can't stand people who follow this politically correct code. These are people who base all their opinions on emotion. They don't care about facts. They don't care about the truth. Sonny Holston was having a debate with Don Lemon about the South Carolina school incident with the teen girl. And Don Lemon says we need to wait for all the facts to come in before we jump to conclusions. And she says she doesn't care about facts. She doesn't care about what happened before the police officer went into the classroom. And this is exactly the problem I have with a lot of these social justice warriors and these liberals who follow this politically correct code. Don Lemon didn't say anything wrong. He simply said, let's wait for all the facts to come in before we jump to conclusions. Let's get all the information before we jump to conclusions. And all these people are attacking Don Lemon, saying Don Lemon should be fired for simply saying this. Political correctness has gotten out of control. And black people are following this political correctness more than anybody else. If you think this man should be fired for simply saying, let's wait for all the facts to come in, you are a complete idiot. Now, I'm not no big Don Lemon fan. A lot of things that Don Lemon says I don't agree with. But he's 100% right in this situation. Now, a lot of things that people are saying about this incident were wrong. A lot of people are saying this girl she's this 14-year-old innocent girl that did nothing wrong. That's complete bullshit. First of all, she's 18 years old. She's not a child. This girl was acting up in class. She was talking on the phone. A black teacher told her to leave the classroom. She refused to leave the classroom. And then the black principal came in and told her to leave the classroom. She still refused to leave the classroom. And that's when the police officer was told to come to the school and arrest her. And she still refused to leave the classroom. So what was the officer supposed to do? If she refuses to get out of that chair. If she refuses to get out of that chair, what is this officer supposed to do? Now, do I agree with what the officer did? No, I do not. He definitely should not have slammed her to the ground and all this shit. He definitely went too far. But she's not innocent. She caused this whole altercation. So when I see people doing videos on YouTube trying to act like this girl is this innocent little angel who did nothing wrong. I saw videos from Bryce Watkins. I saw videos from Robert Perkins. And they're all trying to act like everything is the cop's fault. That the cop did everything wrong. And they're not even acknowledging what she did wrong. A lot of people always want to play the victim. And a lot of people who have this victim mentality don't want to take accountability for anything they did. They'll do something wrong, cause an entire altercation, and they'll try to blame it on everybody else but the person who caused the altercation. Like I said, I'm not condoning what this cop did. I think both sides are wrong. The cop was wrong, and this girl was wrong as well. Now, a lot of people are attacking Raven Symone. A lot of people are taking what she said out of context. She never defended the cop. She said that both sides are wrong. She said that the police officer should not have body slammed the girl, but at the same time, this girl shouldn't have been acting up in class. She should have put her phone away. She should have followed instructions instead of acting like a damn fool. You can't just act like a fool and expect nothing to happen to you. A teacher can't teach a class if he has somebody acting up in class. So when I see people saying they should have just ignored the girl and taught the class. You cannot teach a class with somebody acting up in class. So both sides are wrong. You can't say one is wrong without the other. And the girl is more wrong because she caused the whole altercation. Even the students in the classroom said this girl was out of control. She was acting up in class and acting a damn fool. They support the police officer. They don't support this girl, they support the police officer. They walked out of school in protest in support of the police officer. So when people say, oh, everybody is against the police officer, that's not true. There's plenty of black people who support the police officer. Like I said, I don't condone what he did. I think what he did was wrong. I thought he went too far. But at the same time, this girl was being dysfunctional. This girl caused the whole altercation. And I don't think this man should have lost his job over what somebody else did, what somebody else caused. I think the media is trying to divide people by race. Because if this was a black police officer, nobody would have gave a damn. Because at the same exact school, a week earlier, in the same school, there was a black police officer that tackled a student that fought with a student and removed them from the classroom. And it got no media attention, it got no press whatsoever. But as soon as a white police officer does the same thing, it's a media firestorm. It's all over CNN, Fox News, NBC. The media is trying to divide people by race. This case has nothing to do with race. The teacher was black, the principal was black, the students were black. And they all were against this dysfunctional girl who was disrupting the whole classroom. This girl was disrupting the whole classroom. And that's why they wanted her removed from the class. I noticed that pro-blacks only attack other black people. Because Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly have said 10 times worse than what Don Lemon and Raven Symone have said. But pro-blacks want Don Lemon fired. You notice that? They're not going to go after Sean Hannity when he said Black Lives Matter is the same as the KKK. They're not going to go after Bill O'Reilly after he said the Black Lives Matter movement are Nazis. They've said 10 times worse about black people than Don Lemon has ever said. But they want Don Lemon fired. None of these pro-blacks are putting together a petition to get rid of Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity. They won't go after the white man, but they'll go after another black man. You see how ridiculous they are? People need to stop buying into these pro-black idiots. These people are frauds. They won't go after the so-called white man that they say they're against, but they'll go after another black man for simply disagreeing with their opinion. Don Lemon has said nothing wrong. Everything he said is pretty reasonable. Do I agree with everything Don Lemon says? No, I don't. But to say he should be fired for simply saying, let's wait for all the facts to come in, let's wait to get all the information before we jump to judgment, there is nothing wrong with saying that. It's actually a pretty reasonable thing to say. So people need to stop jumping on the bandwagon of bashing somebody and wait for all the facts to come in.